The gloves are off. The heels are on. It's Let Me Finish with Emmy Award-winning sports reporter Suzy Shuster and senior West Coast editor of Vanity Fair, Krista Smith. It's not easy to get a word in edgewise, but they'll try. And now, here's Krista and Suzy.
I'll take the first word, Kobe. I'll take the second word, Artest. Last night, oh my God, the Lakers, 102-89, throttled the Celtics in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Are you amazed?
It was a spanking. I actually am a little amazed. I knew the Lakers would win. It's the opening game. No one's hungrier than Kobe, but I was surprised that they didn't even show up. I mean, it felt like I kept waiting for the game to get going. Kept waiting and waiting and waiting.
And it really didn't for the Celtics, I have to say. I think it was so surprising. Most people in this town thought that it was going to be, and by this town I do mean LA, and I think around the whole country did think it was going to be Celtics in Game 1, even though that they were on the road. And the Lakers came in last night, and it was all about length. They were so big, they were swarming, they wouldn't let the Celtics get in anywhere.
Defense, defense, defense. I mean, I thought I was going to read this morning on TMZ that someone on the Celtics has been sleeping with Kevin Garnett's mother. He played so bad. It was like, where is he? Who is he? And I love Kevin Garnett because he used to come to GQ Party of the Year all the time. And I used to like him. He's a really nice guy. And I still like him, but he didn't play basketball.
Well, he's tall and he's handsome, but let me tell you something. He looked like an old man, like a scarecrow on the court last night. And that was what was so interesting, I think, for anybody watching that game. He looked old. Ray Allen looked tired. We talked about a lot the last couple weeks about these veterans coming in. Can you let me finish? I'm in a thought here. I'm working a thought here.
Right,
what I'm talking about is the depth of the Lakers bench, the length of these guys, the fact that Andrew Bynum, who didn't play 2 years ago when they lost to the Celtics, he was out there, knee injury 2 years ago, didn't play. There he is out there.
He still has a knee injury last time I checked.
Structure, wouldn't let anybody get in there. And also, by the way, the most telling stat of the night, of course, second chance opportunities. The fact of the matter is the Lakers outscored the Celtics 16-0, a big donut, not even a tip-in. They had a couple offensive boards and they still didn't score.
Wasn't I read that it was 67 free throw shots? 6-7? Did I say it right? free throw, or whatever.
Free throw shots? The hardest thing to say, by the way.
Can we just get to Ron Artest? Can I talk now? Or are you going to keep talking? Ron Artest, can I just talk about how much I love him? Do we have my picture of him up? Oh, he was fantastic.
That's an interesting picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Notice that this is what's called the wraparound. Wow. There's your boy.
That was my favorite moment because he really it was great. It was like I was telling Suzy earlier, to me it felt like a potluck with the Lakers. Kobe's like, just bring something. I don't care, side dish, Waldorf salad, just bring something because we all have to make it happen. And he did.
You're making me hungry, by the way.
Sorry.
I like a nice Waldorf salad. You know what's so interesting, two thoughts on this. Number one, the game got away for the Lakers on 2 Ron Artest shots with 2:40 to go in the first half. He scored a 3, which is crazy because no one wants to give him the ball anymore. And then he followed up with a 2. And then after that, it was all over. So it was Ron Artest once again getting the ball and taking care of this entire game and really turning the momentum. But also, I remember when Trevor Ariza left. When Trevor Ariza left to go to Houston, he got a boatload of money after that 2008 series. Everyone was concerned who's going to come in and take his place. Ron Artest was rumored. Well, everyone went crazy. Ooh, you can't have a troublesome personality. Ron Artest of the Pacers?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Just thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah, go ahead. So
clearly you've come to play like Ron Artest, but people freaked out. Well, he's this year's Dennis Rodman, only he doesn't bang as many Hollywood chicks.
He just hasn't. I don't know about that, actually. I think Dennis Rodman, it was at a moment when the field wasn't that crowded. I think the field's a little bit more crowded now. I'd give more for my guy.
You think the actors won't? You think that? I don't get that. You really think that it was choosier now than it was?
I think you have more of a plethora than you did then. Yeah.
Like of actresses that don't need him as much.
Yeah, I think the field's wide open.
Huh.
I do. I think that Dennis Rodman was able to do Dennis Rodman because he had the Scottie Pippen and he had the Jordan and he was the one with Madonna. But now I think it'd be a lot harder for him now.
And the tats.
Yeah.
Still, Ron Artest.
Wait, can I just say that Rich Eisen is in the house? I'm sorry.
We do have a guest this week. We're planning some things here on Let Me Finish. We're trying to see what we like about the flow of things if we have a couple guests in. And yes, Rich Eisen, host of NFL Total Access on NFL Network, will join us fairly soon to talk about stuff if he can get a word in edgewise.
But okay, what's going to happen, Suzy, in Game 2?
It's so crazy. I don't know. I mean, I think what happens is I think Doc Rivers is a great coach, but I don't think that they have an answer, period. I think it's all about length. I think it's all about the fact, well, you have Lamar Odom, you've got Andrew Bynum, and you basically have Pau Gasol. Paul Gasol.
He's unbelievable. And if you heard him, if you just close your eyes, I listened to it. I've listened to him speak, and you just close your eyes, and it almost sounds like Javier Bardem. You know,
and
I realize
they sure do look alike too.
Yeah, not quite, but if you don't really focus and you just listen, it's kind of good.
I love watching him play. He's changed so much in the last couple of years here, and quite honestly, he's like a tall giraffe. He's not the least awkward-looking gentleman, but he really, I mean,
but he looks a lot better in jeans and a t-shirt.
Well, yeah, he does.
I will say that he looks terrible in that yellow,
arms.
And yeah, he looks terrible.
It's a bad color choice for him.
Yeah.
But I don't, unless he gets traded, I don't think it's going to change. He does look nicer in the purple.
He's not going to get traded. All right, so who are you taking in game 2?
I'm going to take the Lakers. Wow. For obvious reasons.
You think it's just going to be 3 more games until they get the ring?
No, I think when they go back to Boston, it'll be a lot tougher. But the thing is, if Rajon Rondo can't penetrate at will like he has been doing.
Rajon Rondo. What about his sport? Do you have that, Matt?
You just like saying Rajon Rondo.
Well, I do, and I can say it, which is a big deal for me. So if I can say a name, I like to say it as many times as possible.
How come you can say Rajon Rondo, but you can't say Bud Selig?
Bud Selig, I'm learning.
Right.
I'm learning.
I think it's so fascinating.
I'm learning.
By the way, Hollywood stars left and right. So what do you make of that?
Well, that was funny. I was watching that, and obviously it's LA, it's great. You get Jack, you get Diane Cannon, who's been like dipped in formaldehyde. I mean, she's unbelievable. I remember her being in there she must be in her 80s, okay? Looks great. Anyway, across the board, it was funny because I was sitting there thinking, well, obviously there's no work in Hollywood because everyone's
well, that's actually from the last series because that's Alvin Gentry.
Jack.
Not the game that he threw up into a basket.
And then I love that, well, let's talk about Chris Rock. That was great too. You have Chris Rock smack talking with David Spade. It's nice to see they're still friends after all these years, but clearly promoting a movie.
And
but
being paid to sit in the Endeavor seats.
Was it Endeavor seats? Is that what they were?
Those are so the Endeavor seats.
But I love this bit about getting busted by
Phil Jackson. And poor Doris Burke, the sideline reporter, is doing an interview. The camera has now come onto the court in front of the scorer's table and is now perched in front of the Lakers bench-ish. And Phil Jackson got up and was furious. And I'm going to tell you this right now. When Phil's glaring at you, it doesn't feel so good.
Yeah,
and
you could tell. Chris was like looking, he was like awkward. But he did get his plug in, which I thought was funny. And I thought she did a good job.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I thought she did an okay job considering the circumstances. But I want to know I wish we had a lip reader because I wanted to know what smack.
My favorite part was actually the next part when, I don't know if we have it. I think we do. Here we go. So basically.
Anybody lip read out there?
Mark Jackson's talking on ABC with his New York accent, which I really like. But
and David Spade looks terrible, by the way.
With a little Weasley.
It's like a hairpiece.
Little Weasley.
Yeah.
But here he is trying to talk his way to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe's basically like a wax figure from Madame Tussauds.
It's like Spike Lee and Reggie Miller.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Because Chris thinks he's all funny, and everyone's talking about him.
He's
the world's
by the way,
funniest guy.
Donnie Wahlberg. Did you see Donnie Wahlberg?
Would you notice Donnie Wahlberg? I think I just gave him my car outside and $8.
Yeah, I know, maybe he did. Ouch!
He had the right stuff, or was that his brother? Who had the right stuff? Wasn't that New Kids on the Block?
New Kids on the Block was Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Marky Mark.
You had
Marky
the right
Mark
stuff.
was Mark Wahlberg.
Baby.
Good actor.
They were from Dorchester.
Is it time for Rich yet?
No. Let's see who else was here. So Sly Stallone. Is this a real shot or was this doctor?
This is just over. Yeah, this is real.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's got a ton of money.
That I want to know.
Why isn't he courtside?
Here's the thing. Steven Spielberg was there last night, and I want to get him on the show.
All right.
Because he's clearly a huge sports fan.
Robin Roseanne knows him.
Does she?
Personally, she stayed in his house.
I want Spielberg on the show. I think he'd be great.
Robin, let's book him. I'm working on it. We can bring Rich Eisen in to talk about basketball, can't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he knows
the Walter Cronkite of sports. I'd love it.
Hey, Rich, can you come on in? Sure. Everybody, Rich Eisen.
Rich, Krista Smith.
Hey,
nice to see you.
Hi, Suzy Shuster.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
Full disclosure.
I'm going to move Jack over. Hold on.
All right.
Move over, Jack.
Good to be here. I'm the first guest on Let Me Finish.
You are,
right?
And we're going to try and let you finish.
And I'm also honored to be the voice of Let Me Finish.
In case all you savvy listeners heard that.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is we started to do the show, and I actually started laughing in the middle of my open. I was trying to be serious, my first words, and And honestly, in my head, I heard Rich announcing us, and then I was just kind of laughing, so I just turned to you and said, all right, let's talk about the game. Because it's so silly that you actually are doing an open for us.
Why? I'm the voice of Let Me Finish.
That is true.
That's what I'm here for. I'm also here to answer whatever questions you guys have.
All right, so what did you think of the game? And what do you think of Game 2?
What do I think of Game 2? I think what you said, Suze, about the Garnett looking old and whatever is really going to feed the fire, because I think they play these games once every week and a half during the NBA Finals. There's like a good long respite between these games. So that's all Garnett's going to hear until Sunday. He's old.
Old man.
Yeah, they looked old and whatever. And that's what happens in all these series, is that whichever team loses Game 1 blows, and whichever team wins Game 1 is going to be the champion. So that's all Garnett's going to hear over the next couple days. Ray Allen, all those guys.
You're right. It is like 9 years in between games.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's.
This is
I
so
think
silly.
Sunday's the next game, and then it goes Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then I think August. It'll finish in August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
right.
all right. Speaking of August baseball, what happened there? And I'm going to make Suzy pronounce the name. Go ahead.
Armando Galarraga?
Armando.
Are you done? Wait a minute. Are we
Three-times
really
best-
done with
no,
basketball?
all right.
There's more to talk about.
All right, go ahead.
Krista, you can't. By the way, she's got control issues.
I-
You can't just go ahead and do
well,
that.
you
sort
coulda
of thing.
warned
You
me a
cannot
little
just
bit.
go ahead and change topics.
Rich Eisen, thank you for
willy-nilly.
joining us.
Is that wrong?
See you next time on
No, I
Wednesday.
love it. Rich,
I mean, I am on the couch.
get him a contract. Get him a
I
contract.
should start telling you things.
Just
All
before,
right, let's talk
before-
about it. Go ahead.
Just before we move on, and I do want to talk
Go
about
ahead.
Armando Galarraga and Bud Selig, but what I really want to ask you is, do you think this series is over?
No, absolutely not. It's a 7-gamer.
I think the Celtics are coming back mad and angry, and I think they're going to give a much better game. I think they might actually. They
I
could
said
win.
Celtics in 6, and I'll still stand by it, because honestly, people don't expect me to have an opinion on this stuff.
People are flip-flopping left and right. I heard Jay
Flip-flopping.
Adonde from ESPN talking on some radio show on the way here, and he was, I think he was given the opportunity to...
He said Celtics in 6, and now says Lakers in 5.
Yeah.
He was for the Celtics before he was against them.
All I know
crazy.
is
Sort of
the
ridiculous.
ratings have to be great.
It's they threw their, apparently it was up 17%
ratings
game
have to be
1 this year as compared to last year with the Lakers. You just
Yeah,
swap
would
out
we
the,
even care if it was the Suns and the Magic?
I don't think we would in this
care.
town care
Yeah.
at all.
I
I don't
guess
think
I'm-
anybody in this town would care at all about that stuff. But no, the country I don't think would be nearly as interested in that at all, for sure. But you know how it works in Boston, Suze. You're from that town. We'll go there. It'll be.
Well, according to Paul Pierce, their fans know a lot more about basketball than the
They
LA
do.
faithful do.
It's true.
They really do.
It's true.
He's
You
actually
go
not
to
wrong, they
Staples
do.
Center. You go to watch people watch a game. You don't
Right.
watch the game.
Do
You watch people
how much
watch
do
a
you
game.
think Spielberg knows about
Do
basketball?
you,
Yeah.
do you
Did
think...
you guys
Sorry,
see?
just
Did
to
you
bring it
guys?
back.
Did you guys see?
Yeah.
Jason Bateman,
yeah.
future guest on this show. Did you see
Maddie.
that?
I know.
What do
You
you got,
bumped him
bud?
out.
You got
bumped him.
did I? There it is. There's the kiss cam.
That was great.
Hey.
With Dustin Hoffman, and they actually locked lips.
That's great. That looks like saliva might have been exchanged.
Wow.
That's great. Dustin Hoffman, I bet you he could go 1 for sports.
I
huh?
know. I would. He's making out with Tootsie right there.
He should go on your show.
I'd love that, for sure.
He may come on ours first, but
That's
then we can
fine.
we can book him for you.
I'm cool with that.
Is that okay?
I'm cool. I'm absolutely cool with
Do you
that.
think it means something crazy for Hollywood? There's a million actors there. Is it a slow season for pilots? What's going on?
It's just they love to be actors love to be
This
seen,
is
and it's
it.
a great place to be seen. And agents love to take their talent out and say, "Hey, I'm going to take them to a Laker game and be seen next to them." And it's great. It's fun.
This is the
It's fun
pinnacle
to
of
watch.
Los Angeles
Yeah.
sports. This is it. An NBA Finals for
Yeah.
the Lakers. I mean, you could say maybe a World Series game for the Dodgers, a Rose Bowl national
Mm-hmm.
championship for USC. But those, that's football stadiums
Yeah.
and baseball
Yeah.
stadiums. You can't be sitting on the floor
Yeah, you can't get
with
it.
an earshot of Kobe Bryant. I mean,
No.
this is it.
The steel
See
blue
and
gaze.
be seen. This is it. There's my man, T.O.
Oh,
right
there's
there.
T.O.,
There's T.O.
who was today's guest on NFL Total
Yeah,
Access.
I'm
Let's
a-
talk football for a
an
second.
Where's he going to go, by the way? Can I ask a question now, or is that okay? Or can we get off?
You can finish.
Okay.
What's your question?
Tell me about T.O.
Well,
What's going on
T.O.
with
was
him?
on my show about an hour ago, but it's sort of crazy. I'm talking to. Oh, should I close my jacket? See, my wife is telling me what to do while I'm on her show. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
Control
producing.
issues,
Thanks
everybody.
for that.
There. She's like,
Producing.
you look.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, let me tell you about Terrell Owens. Oh, I'm sorry. T.O. doesn't know where he's going. He
Look,
said-
Rich, you may not take this
Denver?
show seriously.
I take the
but
show
we
very
do.
seriously. I couldn't take the show anymore. I lent my voice to this show.
Right, you did.
Are we having
Which is
fun
like my
or
soul.
what?
It's like
this
my
is
soul.
great.
It's like my
This is like the
soul.
marriage rap.
This
I
show
know.
has been brought to you
Okay,
by
I'm
Christian
so
Louboutin.
excited.
I'm so
All right.
glad you and Jack are in between this. That he told me point blank on the show. I asked him, why does he think he doesn't have a gig yet? And he said it's character issues, that people think that he's going to come in and blow up their locker room. And I don't know how you get around that other than having, all it takes is one, as you know, being a Bronco fan, and it just took the Broncos to get Tim Tebow as a first-round pick. All it takes is one of 32 teams to want you. And right now, nobody seems to want him. I asked him if he is pricing himself out of the market. There's talk that he wants $5-6 million a year, which is sort of
Do you think
what
he's
Larry
worth it?
Fitzgerald's making. No, he's definitely not. Larry Fitzgerald is making $6 million a year. T.O. is going to turn 37 in December. So you can do the math yourself. But he is still more than a serviceable wide receiver. And if you think he's going to play along nicely with everybody, you can get him. That now everybody's beginning to rumble that the one team that could shock everybody and take him is the Washington Redskins, with Donovan McNabb.
No, that would be
And I
so
asked
fun.
T.O., could he play with Donovan? And he said, absolutely. And I'm like, can Donovan play with you? And he said, absolutely, that the two of them actually talked about the prospect. Now, that's what T.O. said about an
That
hour
would be
ago.
really fun.
What else you want to know?
Brett Favre
Okay,
coming back?
I have another.
Who?
Brett Favre coming back?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm
Because he wants to be in more Wrangler jeans commercials for you to ooh and ah over.
done. Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's always great. It's really great whenever I come home from the show and my wife talks to me about how hot Tom Brady is and how great Brett Favre is and how dreamy they all are.
Not me. I'm like,
Have you seen him without a shirt on?
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd like
Actually,
it.
I have.
It's so funny, you know, on my network, when there's a big guest coming in, because they restock the green room with all the shit food, and I'm like thinking to myself, why in the world are we stocking this place with Swedish fish? He probably hasn't had a piece of candy.
Anything. 0%
I mean, if you
body
see,
fat.
it's ridiculous. I'll even marvel at it.
Yeah.
How about
Pretty
that?
amazing. All right, I have a couple.
Is this awkward now?
No, I have a couple.
Okay.
The kiss was awkward. We've already started
Oh
with
yeah,
the
my
make
gosh!
out, so you can't really get
That's
worse
true.
from there.
They've raised the bar.
Yeah. Can you explain to me what happened with the perfect game that went wrong and why Bud Selig,
Well done, my friend.
okay, why that's not recalled? I mean, what's
It's-
so complicated about it? that
Well,
he
what's
can't-
complicated about it is that it flies in the face of tradition, and baseball is more than any other sport a keeper of a flame. And the commissioner is not a proponent of instant replay. I think he had to have his arm twisted into the minimal amount of instant replay that they currently have in the playoffs for home runs, and now they expanded it to the regular season, whether a ball is a home run or not. But as you can see right there, I mean,
But
it's
ump
obvious, and it wasn't like it was the 24th or 25th out. So by that, what I mean is that him reaching base in a game that was 3-0, if it was the first out of the 9th, okay, then the next two guys get on, somebody can actually hit a home run and actually win the game.
Right.
And the fact that he's pitching from the stretch position as opposed from the windup with nobody on base could affect the way he actually throws the ball to home plate, and it can affect things like that. But this was the 27th out. This is game over, drive home safely. This is the 21st perfect game in the books.
You know what this
So-
was? Stupid.
and the
that
ref
they did that they
admitted
did not.
immediately.
Well, that's the whole thing too. Is the umpire?
Ref, sorry,
no, it's okay. The umpire. It's all good. It's all good. The
So
umpire.
We're in the room.
embarrassed. I
We're amongst
embarrassed
friends.
We're in the
myself
room
with
and we're
Rich
live.
Eisen.
We're live. And the umpire could have been taken off the hook. And the neat thing is, and I think you're going to be talking about this later, is I had a reaction that the pitcher's reaction, how he was so chill about it. And the umpire's reaction when he found out that he was wrong was so appropriately mortifying.
Right.
It just really, I think, touched a lot of sport fans in the country about how, yeah, it was awful, but you know what? These guys can still, you know, they're ebony and ivory. They're living together in perfect harmony, and it raises this to a totally different level in the national consciousness, and to take the umpire off the hook is what I would have done as the commissioner. You take the ump off the hook and you just make it a perfect game, and everyone moves forward.
Selig, and since when has he actually done anything that's great for baseball? He makes bad decisions one after the next, whether it be the All-Star game and the tie. He's just not as savvy. He's just not as savvy.
Well, it's not the NFL, is that what you're saying?
Well, well, Rich,
But would it
I don't know,
really-
but
would it-
Football League and the
can I
Shield.
finish? Yeah. Let me finish. But, you know, what I thought was so interesting was Armando Galarraga and Jim Joyce. So this happened on Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, they meet at home plate. Jim Joyce apparently breaks down in tears, hugs him. It was a nice moment.
Yeah, because he became the home plate umpire the next night, and the Tigers had Galarraga bring out the lineup card to home plate for the Tigers. And the thing that Joyce was really choked up about, too, is, and because I went to the University of Michigan, I know about Michiganders. They cheered the umpire. They cheered the umpire.
Did they really call them
did.
Michiganders?
They do.
That's weird.
They do. And in fact, they tell you where they live by pointing to a spot on their hand, because the state of Michigan looks like your hand. You say, I live here, I live there, and all that stuff. These are things about Michigan you don't know. But at any rate, they cheered him. They cheered him because of his reaction to screwing it up. And he knows that that's the umpire who didn't get the call right.
And he was given the opportunity not to show up at that game, too. And he said,
he
no,
was.
I want to go.
Oh, I mean, it's his
He
pro.
said,
I think that's really...
I'll take what I get because I deserve it. Any booze.
But he's a pro. That's the bottom line. He's a professional. at the
Can you
very
compare
least.
that to your boyfriend, Rashid Wallace, getting into a ref's face with one of his 75,000 technicals
Why
for
is he
his
your-
bad
Rashid
behavior?
Wallace?
Why is he your boyfriend?
She's just
Why
because
is he your
Suzy and I
boyfriend?
have much different types.
Are you
I like
attracted
Mark
to- are you
Sanchez
attr-
and she likes Brett
Are you
Favre.
attracted to men with odd gray
Yeah.
bald spots in the middle of their normally brown head?
I just like
Black
that
hair?
you just don't, you never know what's going to happen with
You know why?
Rashid Wallace.
Do you wanna
which is
know
what I
why?
like. Keeps you guessing.
Do you want to know why? Because he's crazy.
Crazy.
Because-
Crazier than
because-
Lawrence
You
Taylor.
just don't like him
He's
because
crazy.
when
Crazier
you
than
interviewed him,
Lawrence
he
Different.
He
Lawrence
wasn't
Taylor,
he wasn't very kind to you, was he?
he was not kind to anybody.
Right.
He's not kind to anybody. He's a
Right.
jackass, Rich. And I'll tell you this, I'll say that on TV, and I probably will interview him again. Can I have this camera?
Got it.
Okay,
There it is.
here we go.
Meet me at camera what?
Yeah.
What is this? Okay, it's coming. There
You,
we go.
sir, are a jackass. He is. He treats people like crap. He does. And you know what? I don't appreciate it because we're all doing jobs. See, I like this. This is an example of, and I love sports. I love classy behavior in sports, and I even love craziness in sports, but he's just a jerk, and that's just my little
So
tantrum.
Rasheed Wallace will not be the second guest.
No, he's not. Maybe Ben Wallace, but
Ben, okay.
definitely not
All right.
Rashid
All right.
Wallace.
Who's better looking than Rasheed Wallace?
William
Ben
Wallace,
is.
that's the
Yeah.
one you want.
William Wallace.
Yeah, come on now, right?
Yeah,
Little
we really
Braveheart
do.
for you.
Yep. You wouldn't know that though, Suzy. That's Rich and I. We know film.
But please do
You
me a
two-
favor.
you two have
do me
a
a
lot in
favor.
common.
If you
Yeah.
if you get him here,
Yeah.
send a car and driver for him, will you?
Yeah.
Please? I think that'd be a good idea. Get William Wallace here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And some
Find it in the
makeup.
budget. Find it in the
Didn't
budget.
some Broncos quarterback get cut on the way when I was driving here today? Didn't
Yeah,
somebody?
they cut the fourth stringer.
Are you sad, Krista?
By Brad, my guy.
Brand Stater is his
I'm
name.
Brand Stater. I thought he had potential.
He may, but you're listen.
Okay, where's Brady Quinn gonna go?
The
Who's
Savior's
going to-
arrived. The Savior's arrived.
Yeah, right.
Tim Tebow
God
has
bless,
arrived.
God bless,
They
God
gave him
bless,
Brandon
God
Marshall's
bless.
number and everything.
That's
I
weird.
know. He's a very religious man.
Okay,
Tim Tebow.
who's going? Two more questions.
Okay.
Who's going to Seattle?
What do you mean?
Who's gonna be the quarterback?
For the Seattle Seahawks,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be Matthew Hasselbeck. It's going to be him, and they signed Charlie Whitehurst in the offseason, a guy
Okay.
who's been riding the pine in the third position for
Okay.
years in San Diego, and they paid him a ton of money, and it was sort of a surprise.
All right.
Is he like the heir apparent to Matt?
He's gonna be. They're gonna give him a shot.
Who's Matt?
Huh?
Matt's got to be like 33.
Matt is in his 10th year of being the
He's
starting quarterback
old.
there. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really got himself in great shape.
He's
a
cute
great
for a
guy.
bald guy too.
He looks really cute with his
You
baseball
like
hat
Matthew
on.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
Hasselbeck, too. He's
type.
another one
He's
too.
so
He's a
her
funny
type.
Because he's smart.
guy. And
'Cause
he's
he's
from New
smart,
England.
and
He's from
Does he
he's
love
from
Jesus?
New England.
He's smart.
wicked
He's from
smart.
Boston.
He's wicked smart.
He's wicked smart. He's from the North Shore.
Yeah. You have you have one more question for me?
Yeah, I
'Cause you
do have
said
one more
two.
question. The other question is Super Bowl in New York.
Yeah.
Or-
New Jersey. Don't
New
forget,
Jersey.
they get
Yeah, New
pissed
York, New
off if
Jersey.
you don't say New Jersey.
Yeah.
They get pissed off because the
Right.
game is actually going to be played in the state of New Jersey.
Okay, so
So.
Super Bowl in New Jersey. What's your thoughts on that in February?
You mean the one in New York?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
Where are you gonna? I mean, how's it gonna work?
Well, I'm going to freeze my ass off,
Yeah.
but you know the city is going to be electric. It's going to be fantastic.
A lot of hotel rooms.
Oh my God, the the city is going to be.
Are you going to stay in New Jersey or in New York?
No way.
Yeah.
No.
So you're going to be commuting to.
Well, here's what I'm going to do is that I work at the media center for the week. That's where Total Access is set up with a set right in the middle of the media center, which is going to be the Javits Center. Yeah. It's going to be the Javits Center right on the west side.
Fashion district.
Right there on the Hudson River, near the Chelsea Piers. And the 2 times I'll go into New Jersey is for Media Day, which they may not even have at the stadium. They'll probably just hold it indoors somewhere. If they're going to do that, might as well have it in New York. But they'll probably have it at the stadium. They always do. And then the game itself. I will freeze my ass off just like everyone else there who doesn't have a very sweet setup in a suite.
So to speak. Nice play on words.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. I never thought, being a native New Yorker, that I would ever see a Super Bowl in New York, New Jersey, but it's going to happen in 4 years.
And who do you think might end up in that Super Bowl?
Gosh darn it. I can't even tell you about this.
2014.
I can't even tell you now what's happening.
No, I mean this Super Bowl, yeah.
I can't even tell you about it.
It's all right.
Do you have a question for me, Suzy?
No. Do you want to touch for
I put the alarm on.
Yeah,
That's what you want to know. Yeah, I put the alarm on.
You feed the dog.
I unplugged everything that wasn't attached to a charger.
You did nothing at the store. You didn't even go home. You were.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Go back to Lakers.
Caught me in a lie.
I'm sorry, I'm done now.
Are you done?
I'm out.
But shouldn't we move to the cheat sheet because the show's over 4 minutes ago?
Oh gosh.
Does it matter?
Well, I want to go. Yeah.
You want to go what?
I want to talk about, since we have Rich here, my things we love. But I think we need to do the cheat sheet. We're introducing the cheat sheet. There you are, light. Sorry, getting better by the minute. Cheat sheet, which is just a little thing that's stuff that's going on this weekend that you don't want to miss, like hockey, Stanley Cup stuff going on. Suzy, there's the French Open.
I think we're talking about it. And
oh man!
Oh my God!
Yeah, no Roddick, no Williams sisters, no Roger Federer.
I'd be dying for a Venus Williams dress.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing.
I know.
Nothing.
You're just upset because you wanted to see the flesh-colored knickers.
I
from
love
the
the costumes, and I love Nadal, and I'm happy. But Nadal against the Swede, yeah, I don't know. It's just really boring. But
Robin
anyway,
Soderling, by the way, the only guy.
All right, Ivy League. There's the Emmy Award.
The only
right
tennis player to defeat Nadal at Roland Garros in his entire career.
All right.
Are you aware?
You got a match.
I thought you'd just like to know that Nadal 21.
Yeah.
And 21 in zip, I think, in 2010 in the clay. But it was Robin Soderling who did defeat him last year.
He's
also
you
the same
getting your
guy.
clay numbers out.
Yeah, with her
That's
notepad.
fantastic. No, but she's doing research.
So biased.
It's not guesswork. That's why they call it research.
Can you guys let me finish? I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
roll here, and
Go
I'm
ahead.
talking tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's huge.
Soderling
World Cup next week. I can't wait for it.
actually was the guy that threw out Federer, in the quarters.
Yeah.
I know.
So
we were
are
all
you going to be
paying attention.
watching?
Nadal 37-1 in Roland Garros. I'm done now. I just want you to know that I worked.
Yeah, okay.
I actually came prepared to this one, but we can just bullshit a little bit more if you want.
Sorry.
We can just talk about the fact that there's no hot chicks named erotics out.
Yeah. It was really boring. I'm sorry, I can say it. The French, American tennis sucks. I don't know why the Williams sisters lost. I loved Venus's dress. Okay, I'm shallow and vain, I'll admit it, but it was great and entertaining. And they got beaten. Why? And who's Roddick? What's going on with him? He had Jimmy Connors as a coach. The hat's backwards.
He's
the hat's
married
forward.
to Brooklyn Decker.
What is he doing?
Have you seen her lately?
Set and match.
Indeed.
She didn't replace Megan Fox though. In Transformers 3,
Why not?
with the Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, Megan.
She didn't pull it. She's not a closer.
She's
and
not.
he sucks.
How
You're
come
married to
some
a
girl-
tennis player that's not winning?
But how can some girl who doesn't even speak English become the next actor, but Brooklyn Decker doesn't? I mean, Brooklyn Decker's in the Adam Sandler show.
Yeah, no, she's in the Adam Sandler movie with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, and apparently Jennifer Aniston was a little freaked out by it. I don't know, Robin, you might know this or not, but I mean, and was in the treadmill.
Brooklyn
That's what the rumor.
Decker.
That's what Us Magazine said.
Come on.
On the treadmill in between takes.
Have you seen Brooklyn Decker?
No, but I'll take your word for it, Rich.
Have you not seen her?
You're Brett Favre.
She's. I've met her a couple times at the U.S. Open, and oh God,
they're real and they're spectacular.
Queen and Manhattan and Staten Island too.
Right.
You wouldn't know what that's from because you don't watch
Seinfeld. I don't know how that's possible.
God, here it goes again. Can I get to my favorite things we love, Matt?
You can.
Please.
Okay, let's get to them. Do I have to have?
Eisen's third choice for the evening is one which particularly touched him.
Wait, what is this?
Reasons.
Is this The Naturals at Robert Redford?
About a middle-aged baseball player.
Oh, this is nice, honey.
But for Eisen, who is not only a sportscaster,
Which, of course,
but
was
also
on
dad,
TCM this
it's
week.
about
He was a
much more than
special
that.
guest on
Right,
Classic
and
Movies with Robert
wait,
Osborne.
wait.
I don't want to give anything away, but there's a father-son relationship that's deep within this film and runs throughout like a thread.
You know, my mother told me I ought to be a farmer. My dad wanted me to be a baseball player.
Yeah. And my dad told me I should be a sportscaster.
Oh,
Is
my gosh.
that it? This is my.
Now go shoot up. Wait, he's going to tell me
Sorry.
to shoot up.
Shoot up.
Yeah.
And have some Quaker oatmeal while you're at it.
This is my
Look at that
favorite. This is
smile.
my
Or even with
favorite.
Rich with some
Oh,
good
my
fat.
This
God,
is
how
my.
great
This
is
is the
that?
thing I love
All right, Maddie, we can dump out.
because Rich Eisen. This is keeping with the theme of awkward and uncomfortable. This is going to be really fun. Is probably in my bedroom more than he's in yours because I obsessively watch the NFL Network.
You're a
and
slut.
I obsessively watch Turner Classic Movies and look at
So
that.
you saw that the other night. That was one of the coolest things I've
I
ever
saw that.
had
I
a
was like,
chance to
there I
do.
am on with my other boyfriend, my real boyfriend, Robert Osborne, and I'm like, Rich Eisen, how great is that?
It was the coolest thing.
And
He was
sports
such a-
movies.
I wanted to hug Robert Osborne by the end of it. It was so
Wow,
cool.
he's amazing, isn't
It
he?
was so great. It was one of the coolest things I ever got a chance to do. I got my inner Siskel out. And
great.
It was just great with the. I loved it.
And that
It
was my
awesome.
thing. That's
Thank
the-
you. That's so nice
No,
of
it
you to
was
do that.
great.
That was
Do you
very
guys
nice.
want me to
Yeah.
leave? Do you want a
No,
moment?
no, it's
Because
okay.
Krista's husband's here and we can go get a
Yeah,
margarita.
yeah. No, it's all right.
Please,
I just,
please
yeah.
stay. Please don't.
We want
go.
to. We want to know what
Please.
you love.
What do you
Suzy,
like?
other than control?
My favorite
Yep.
thing happened. What?
Sorry.
My favorite thing was on CNBC, in which Erin Burnett, who was a very capable woman of money.
Have you seen? Speaking of real and on the cover of Maxim, have you seen her Maxim cover?
Erin Burnett's on the
What?
cover of Max.
That's weird.
Oh, I did my research, but it's not on a notepad. Yeah. She she was a Maxim cover called
No way.
Score. Yeah.
Is there
I'm sorry,
a,
some journalists actually use a
is there a
notepad.
Sorry,
newsstand
yeah.
up the street?
No, she was.
What do you mean? Was she naked?
She was well in her underwear
No
doing one of
way.
these things on the cover of Maxim. Sasha, back up here. Come on.
We don't know how old that is, but it's true.
Well, she's only like she's born in 1976. It can't be that old.
Google image.
Anyway, go ahead, Suzy.
Well, this is a good thing you love. I know.
Sorry.
Let me just set this up quickly, and then Maddie, we can roll this. But basically, they were referring to the Armando Galarraga, not the Andres Galarraga, but the Armando Galarraga so-called perfect game. And
George, yeah.
she was just saying, and it was kind of a lame thing to say, but we can roll it
What
and
do you
we
mean
can.
lame thing to say?
No, it
Because
was a
I
little
said it
girly.
earlier.
No, the way she
I
said
agree.
it sounded
Okay.
a
It
little
was
Okay.
awkward.
Okay.
She was trying to shut him up, I
she's-
think, and move on to the next thing because
Can
she's
we roll it,
not
Maddie?
a sportscaster.
Right.
She's a business reporter.
We'll give her
That's
a
on the
chance.
cover of
happened,
Maxim.
but everyone admitted it. I thought it was handled so beautifully that it was a more memorable moment for its failure, perhaps, than its success. I don't know.
No.
Maybe a little sentimental.
See, this is why women aren't in charge of sports.
I like her reaction.
You know what? I think that this is a moment that should be passed over at this moment.
Yeah, and Matt, I think this is another moment where I need my own camera. So wait, when you get a second, I could use camera one.
Camera one needs to zoom in. Here we go, everybody.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with all due respect to Keith Overman, I'm going to borrow his shtick and say, you sir are a moron, and you sir are a fat ass, and you sir don't look like you ever played one down of football, and you sir are lazy and stupid, and you sir could be broken apart by me on the cover too. Okay, so let me just tell you right now, women shouldn't be involved in sports. This is why women don't run sports. If women ran sports, I might even add, we may have had a perfect game the other night because it was a nice moment. So you, sir, should shut your pie hole. Back to you, Krista.
Oh, okay. Guess it's time to go. The
My
meatloaf's
poor
burning.
husband. Whew, hot flash. I feel a little better. And he also looked like a drunk. He was like,
Fat.
he was like, he's like, that's why women, like ridiculous. Like I feel bad for Erin Burnett there. I get it. It was a little lame in how she said it, but
Well, he's not
ridiculous, right?
apologizing, right? Isn't that the
That's
whole?
what he said. He's not apologizing.
He's not going to apologize.
Is it
and
Mark
they thought
Haynes?
it was
Is
a
that his
joke.
name?
I don't know who he is.
Let's not even name him.
Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I like how Keith does it though. You, sir. I've always wanted to do
I know.
that.
That was
And I
good.
just
That's
did.
good. You did a good
just
job.
did.
Do you have a
You're
favorite
in a
thing?
KO. My favorite thing of the week is being on this show.
No.
Oh, that was so nice.
My favorite thing of this week is being on this show. And I The appreciate gloves are off.
Oh,
The heels
yeah.
It's Let Me Finish with Emmy Award-winning sports reporter Suzy Shuster and senior West Coast editor of Vanity Fair, Krista Smith. It's
so
not
nice,
easy to get a word in edgewise.
It's not.
They'll try.
There you go.
And now, here's Krista and Suzy.
Krista liked how you said her name.
Thank you,
like that?
everybody. I love it.
That was
That's
it.
a wrap.
That's about it. That's about all we have time for because we're, I don't know, 15 minutes over. But we will see you
fun.
next week on Let Me Finish. Thanks for watching.
With Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah. Thanks, Rich.